Hi guys, welcome back to the Chelsea post-game show on the Chelsea Godfather channel. Please subscribe to my channel for regular Chelsea updates. Let's jump right in. Chelsea 4, Benfica 1. Chelsea 4, Benfica 1 in one of the wildest games ever played. Wildest games not in terms of the score. No. The game was wild in terms of the fact that the game, right, pretty much was over. The game was pretty much done and dusted with about 4 minutes left, I believe, in the 86th minute when it was suspended due to threats of thunderstorms and lightning. I mean, that's the protocol out here in America. That's just the way it's been. Obviously, we're not really known for being a footballing nation. In all due respect to the fact that we have MLS on ground here, but the reality is, due to the fact that USA, it's a fairly litigious country. I mean, you're talking about lawsuits and whatnot, wrongful debt lawsuits due to lightning strikes, right? Due to the fact that that you have equipment in the stadium, you're able to see the danger coming from a mile away, and knowing that safety first. If you just apply a safety first protocol, that you can save lives, and one life lost is one life too many. Right, you don't want anybody being lost on from any team, and that is the what's the word? That's the motivation, right, behind the suspension related protocols, whereby games get not necessarily called off, but they get sort of put on hold until the thunderstorm or the cloud passes by. And obviously, those of us that have been watching, football since we've been little kids, right? I mean, I've been watching, like football since. I mean, I don't want to age myself here, but I've been watching football since like the mid to like sort of like late, 70s. I've been watching football since the 70s. So, yeah, so it's not normal. And that's what, Maresca pretty much was complaining about after the game, notwithstanding the fact that Chelsea did go on ahead and win the game 4-1. He was like, listen, this is not, football. Like, you cannot stop a game that's pretty much done and dusted at 86 minute, where like 1-0 up. Granted, anything can happen, but what it is you just have to either let the game go, or you cancel the game and you replay the game. That's the way. That's the normal protocol. But of course, you're not going to cancel and replay a game that only has 4 minutes left. So the protocol should have been to just keep playing the game, but for the fact that U.S. has their own protocols, their sort of local rules, and but when you have a local rule in place that in effect serves to potentially extend an otherwise 90-minute football game and make it like literally like 4 hours 4 hours long, and make it over 4 hours, because when you added in the extra time due to the fact that Benfica got the penalty in injury time, then in effect the game probably went at least a good 4.5 hours, which is really nonsense. That's, as he said, that's not football. Again, I've been watching football all my life, and it's never happened. All right. I mean, there's been World Cups, there's been Champions League, there's been There's been African Nations Cups. There's been Euro Cups. There's been CONCACAF. Football anywhere in the world has never happened. It's never happened. So FIFA has to go back to the drawing board, because this cannot this is not good enough. Whatever, when you have a protocol that otherwise serves to transform the game into something that's not recognizable, then there is a problem with that protocol. That protocol does not fit, right? And I do understand the rationale behind the protocol, right? Out here in U.S., any injury, right? Any injury that is an avoidable injury, and especially if you're talking about loss of life due to lightning, and if you can show that it could have been avoided, it could have been prevented, right? Then you, as an organization, wittingly expose yourself to personal injury, litigation, right? Like, somebody's going to pay, and we're talking a lot of money. The deeper the pockets, and the value of the life involved. In this case, if it's like a football player, then we are talking about a lot of money. So that's the reason why they are very strict with those calls to suspend games. So, but notwithstanding, there has to be some kind of middle ground that is arrived at between the clubs and the organizers. And so, but in any event, again, the game ended up 4-1. You guys already know. I mean, this analysis is a bit late, because I've been I've been tied up for the past in a couple of weeks. I've really been away on travel, so I'm just trying to get these videos out as quickly as I can. It was basically Maresca pretty much implementing the same game plans, literally the exact same game plan that he implemented against Flamengo, but which didn't work against Flamengo, for the simple fact that the personnel that he used, one personnel, and the one personnel, Gusto. Gusto was the guy that just didn't fit. He was the odd man out. And once, again, as I mentioned, listen, he should have had it against Flamengo. All he had to do was replace Gusto at halftime. We actually win that game 1-0 at halftime, which is kind of funny, because we didn't really play well at any point in time against Flamengo. But the main reason is we did not have the control that we need to have in midfield with James and Caicedo against Flamengo, and we had Lavia on the bench, and we had Gusto right back and James in midfield. All he had to do was, again, 1-0. We didn't play well. We're in control. Now we have the lead. Take out Gusto at halftime and put in Lavia. Shift James to right back and have Lavia and Caicedo. That most likely would give us ample control in midfield. Who knows? Action Jackson might end up not even having to come on and get a silly red card. But all that is history, is water under the bridge. But as you say, in life, sometimes when there's a setback, it's not about the setback. It's about what did you learn from that setback. And again, it appears that Maresca was able to learn that, listen, James is the guy, is the key. James and Lavia, those are the key to making that his new setup work, right? Because he did tell us that he was trying to try something new, and that he was actually happy with that. He actually learned a few things. He's not happy with the result, but once he made that move and he had James at right back, had Lavia in midfield with Caicedo, then pushed Enzo up front with Neto and Palmer pretty much sort of roaming in and around from the wide areas to the central areas, and Delap just in front of them. I mean, everything was basically set. It was game, set, and match. It was game, set, and match for Benfica, because you already know with Cucurella at left back, there's not much of anything that's going to get by him. You guys already know James is the best right back in football, so it is what it is. As he then showed later on with that world class goal from the free kick, and then Colwell in central defense alongside Balashil, who for me didn't, he had actually started well, but once he had his little error, he's going, when Balashil is going to misplace a ball, or he might try to shield a ball and lose it, and then it might almost result in a goal or something, and then his head is going to drop, and that's what happened to him. Once he had that typical Balashil moment, his head dropped, and he was pretty much was not the same player. And fortunately for Balashil, he ended up getting injured with what seemed like a hamstring. I mean, I hope that he recovers well. But what he did was he then opened the door for Tosin to come onto the pitch, who for me should have started in the center of midfield of defense alongside Levi Colwell. And of course, in goal was you guys already know it's always going to be Sanchez. I mean, he's going to make the saves that we need him to make. And, we just have to pray when he's on the ball. And that's just, it is, what it is. More often than not, his pass is going to get, it's not going to be troublesome. But we also know there's going to be some passes and even some throws. I mean, how do you throw the ball to the wrong guy? It's only Sanchez that can answer that question. But it just gives you an idea of what we're working with. So, but in any event, we went ahead, took the 1-0 lead. We're just literally, squeezing the life out of Benfica, nice and then quietly, drama free until the 2-hour delay, then sort of turned the game on its head, because then that's how they ended up with some crazy a penalty that which by the way, the referee was the worst referee that we've ever had for a game since Overbros or whatever his name was in 2009 against Barcelona. And he gave us absolutely nothing, and he gave them everything, which is crazy. Any little touch from a Chelsea player was a Benfica foul, and whereas the other way around, we would just wave play on. So to cut a long story short, it was just a really, now granted, Gusto's hand was in the air, but like he had no idea of where his hand, where the ball was. I mean, the zero intent, that never should have been a penalty. Of course, the referee was so happy to go to the VAR and award the PK. Di Maria then stepped up and scored the PK right down the middle. Honestly, it really wasn't the best PK, but it went right on down the middle. I mean, I'm not really going to blame Sanchez on that, but who knows, on another day Sanchez might have used his leg to save it. So, but then 1-1, and then and of course that's when I believe entering into extra time, the first early minutes of the extra time is when their player ended up with the second yellow card, and that turned the game right back on its head and turned into our own favor. And it eventually led to Kunku's important goal, which is the biggest thing he's done for us since he has scored that one goal away at Bournemouth last year. And then once we're up 2-1, it was just a matter of being composed. I mean, we were playing against a team that had 10 men. They had to come out. They had to get the ball from us. And once they came and tried to press us, we just went on ahead and put Benfica to the sword with massive goals from Pedro Neto and Kiernan Drewsbury Hall, and that's 4-1 all she wrote. And so that puts us in the quarterfinals, and we go ahead and play against Estavois Boys, Palmeiras, which is the club from Brazil. We already know what's going to be waiting for us. It's going to be on July 4th, which is Friday. I don't remember the time, but I think it's definitely on Friday, on July 4th, and it should be a cracker with a spot in the semifinals on the line, most likely against City, Man City, if we're able to get by these Brazilians, which hopefully we will be able to. How do you guys feel? Please leave your comments below, share the video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. God bless you guys. Peace.